What's up? On our plate for this week are these new leaks about Marathon already proving the internet wrong? Mm. Jealous of Clear Obscur Expedition 33 success, Square Enix vows to re-enter the market they started. Mm. And Sony reaffirms PS Plus will not become like Gamepass. All this and more on this episode of Press X Start Gamers Digest. What's up, everyone? I'm your host, UJ, aka Sexy Bad Choices, aka I put my left hand on my left shoulder and my right hand on my right shoulder, and I do a little shake because I'm a I am joined by
Sean MF Ross.
What does the MNF stand for?
The standard set.
Oh. This man is the default class that you pick at the start of life. All right. Now you know more about us. This is Press X Start Gamers Digest, a video game news show that condenses the most important gaming news from this past week into an hour-long meal just for you. We are live every week, even though it's a Sunday and we made it on a Sunday. Every week,
Yeah.
we can make it because life is hard.
But listening to us is easy.
That's true. It always is. All right. Don't forget, you can support us by liking this video, subscribing to this channel, and hitting that notification bell. If you are listening, we appreciate you leaving us a review on whatever podcast service you are tuned in on. And if you want to join a conversation, you can join our Discord by going to pressx2start.com/Discord, and I'll take you there. All right. With that out the way, let us jump into the gaming news with number one. Marathon's NDA alpha leaks show visual improvements, details new additions. This comes to us from Forbes by way of course, Paul Tassi. So, some backstory. After the whole thing of Marathon happened, debacle, that's a great word for it. They said, all right, well, we are going to go back to the drawing board with some of this feedback that we've acquired, and we're going to restart the alpha test. And they had an alpha test this past weekend, and this time it was NDA'd. That means you can't actually go online and post the things that you saw in the alpha, because if you do, Bungie will find you and they will take legal action. So with that being said, okay, good. Yeah, with that being said, now someone actually did leak some info because that's how the internet works, right? This was captured off Twitter, and Paul Tassi, just kind of collected the information that he saw and made a story out of it. So he kind of bullet pointed this. I'm just going to read off the bullet points and then we can talk about it. So this is what he was shown. A series of outdoor shots showed a much more finished look with more density and far better lighting than the last alpha, confirming large improvements have been made not at all that long after the last test. So that's not surprising because this is an alpha. They even went as far, as in Bungie, went as far as to say that the textures were unfinished, but I guess that message didn't really reach.
It didn't look that bad to me, though.
Yeah, it didn't. But again, it's just like, it's that weird thing of we don't know.
That wasn't the issue with the game.
Well, I mean, the outdoor issue, that like the fact that stuff wasn't as sharp outside and like had that haze that you talked about. So like this is supposed to be from what I take is like the lighting and visual improvements is targeting that like haze that a lot of people talked about. Yeah. So again, it's like, oh, this is an alpha. It's not even a beta technically. So that stuff is kind of should be expected. But again, this is our first time getting the game. So we are going to base our impressions off what we see and what we play. That's how that works. Second bullet point. There's a shot of what appears to be blue blood pooling in water after a player's death, similar to what we've seen in cinematics. There also appears to be at least some experimentation with actual enemy corpse left on the map after death, a bit with a duffel bag still present. That part I don't understand, the whole experimentation. I
Yeah.
don't remember seeing that. I could be wrong, but that sounds interesting. I wonder where they're going with that. Um, these reflect player complaints from the alpha, as it seemed out of step with a lot of promotion to have enemy supply evaporate.
Hmm.
Huh.
Did they fix the readability?
That's a great question. I'm not sure if that is not mentioned. Um, yeah, well, the blue blood thing, I will point out that because that was a thing that was shown in like the first trailer,
Yeah.
and we didn't actually see it in the game, and people called it out because like we assumed that was going to be a thing that happened because we saw it in the cinematics or whatever. So it seems like they are just putting that back in, or that was always supposed to be in, but it wasn't maybe finished or something. I don't know, but that's there now.
Hmm.
Um, the black market has material exchange where you can trade higher tier ones for lower tier. They have new icons, or they also have new icons. That's cool. I think I like that because I remember the black market being a thing of like, I don't really know what to do with this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the fact that they are having like a trade-in system so you can go into new what do they call it, raids or whatever with higher tier loot, I
Yeah.
guess, to a point. The map legend now more clearly says where things like anomalies and bosses are.
That
I would
wasn't
like to
really
see
the but
I'd
okay.
like to see more on that map. I think for me, I remember looking at the map and being like, all right, well, I guess I'll just go to this point because
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, having anomalies. The thing is like I don't even know what anomalies are. Like it's that thing of barely, we played like
I
10
don't think
hours at
this is a big
most.
point to, like, expand on because that's
Yeah.
inconsequential until the game actually comes out and you play it.
Yeah. And then there's a new sniper rifle called V99. Sure, it takes vault cells. Sure. Resurrection timer is a lot longer. This is a thing that I saw called out a lot online.
Yeah.
And the reason why this is important specifically is that people had an issue where if it was like a
Ah,
3-on-3 fight
yeah,
and
you
one
kill the
person
other
goes
team
down.
and they're just right back on your ass. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So that resurrection time being longer, meaning like if you take a person out, then that's an actual advantage your team has
That
over
actually
the
means
now.
something.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that's cool, and I was probably just a really quick change that they could have made.
It's not like just throw bodies at the issue and, you'll be right back.
You're right,
Get
right,
them.
right, right. And then there's a new medic runner that has the ability to give a player a heal drone that follows them to restore health over time. They can also drop med kits. Said play similarly to Apex Lifeline. So that's
Boo.
so yeah. Those are things that Paul Tassi saw.
Mhm.
I think this is okay. So a couple things to note is that from what Bungie said, the alpha that was live was 2 months old. So it is very possible that some of these improvements was already in the game. It's just
Mhm.
this latest alpha test was more current than the previous alpha test. So this is the weird thing about game development in terms of things are always being added, things are always being taken away until the final moment. So it's like we don't know what the actual timeline to when these updates were made, but I think it is generally heading in the right direction for the fact that they are adding stuff and actually putting in or making those changes that the fan base that players were having with the game. Again, as you were saying, there was other bigger issues
Yeah.
that is not in these bullet points. I think I don't
They
remember.
got they got 9 months to fix the shit if they're saying they're gonna
Yeah,
get it out before the end of the fiscal year. So
yeah. And again, like 9 months with I think they have about like 300 people
mhm.
if there's no layoffs. So it's a thing of like that's a lot. That's a lot that they can do with 9 months. I mean, they can't make the game a single player thing. They can't add a PVE mode. I don't think they can do that in that amount of time. So it would just be working on this
I mean, sure they
extract
can. They could just turn off. They could just
the
turn off
players.
the NPCs. Yeah,
No, turn off the players and leave just the AI.
they could do PVE. They could do PvP. It's just a matter of turning off whatever.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like if they turn off the players, then I guess. Oh, you know what? Okay, maybe they could do something like that where they just have just the robots and like the boss in the stage is like a bigger deal essentially.
Hmm.
Yeah, all right. Well, hey, that's on them. That's their problem to solve. But yeah, overall, I would say that these improvements are good. They're positive. Of course, the internet bandwagon being as is this going to make a big deal to them? Maybe not. Then again, they probably wasn't really going to play the game to begin with. So it is a
Yep,
thing of like, you know, are you doing this for them? Of course you're not. You're doing this for the people that you know are going to play the game, or people that you hope will play the game. So that's cool.
that's fine.
Yeah. Number 2. Square Enix will make more turn-based games and recognize success of Clear Obscure
Expedition
Expedition
30.
33. Yes. That goes to us from Insider Gaming by way of Andrew Hilton. Hi, Tim.
Titan.
That's a new name. Um, so not many saw the outrageous success coming for Clear Obscure Expedition 33. The game had potential, but it's likely exceeded all expectations in 2025. So much so, a Square Enix investor is reportedly pushing for Square Enix to shift gears back to turn based games using Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest as examples. Final Fantasy hasn't been an overtly turn based title in some time. You could argue Final Fantasy 12 was the last game to embrace any proper turn based elements. Since then, Square Enix has focused on creating more engaging real time action. This might not stay this way forever. Final Fantasy 12 was with Vaughn. Oh, Final
I didn't
Fantasy
play that
12.
one.
Yeah, that's actually the first Final Fantasy game I played.
What the shit is this, DJ? Most people start with 7 or 10, or
No,
if you're a true nerd, then 1 through whatever. But
6
12 was your
yeah.
first one.
Yeah. I mean, I watched Final Fantasy 7. I watched a little bit of Final Fantasy 8. I thought Final Fantasy
You was
9 was
watching Let's
amazing.
Plays on 7 back in the day. How you
No,
do
no,
that?
no. Like, what are my best friends like back then? He bought Final Fantasy 7. I sat and I watched him play it. But
Did you watch him beat Sephiroth like Marcus and his family?
no, I didn't get that far. We ended up we watched for a little bit and then switched to like a fighting game or something because that's what we did. That's what we did. But yeah, I find this to be quite hilarious in that
Mhm.
Square Enix was the champion of turn-based games. I said at the beginning that Square Enix started this market. I don't know if they started it, but they definitely dominated it. And for them to be
Yeah.
reminded that like, oh yeah, we used to do that. Maybe we should try to do that again.
I
Oh
got the
geez.
perfect turn-based game for them to make.
Mm-hmm. What is that? Oh, I see where you're going here.
Yeah. For those who ain't been here, it's Parasite Eve.
Oh, that's awesome. You know what? You're right though. That's they should do that. That should be the first game. They should leave Final Fantasy alone and just make Parasite Eve. Just come back and bring that back.
Yep.
Is that a Square Enix game? Or is that comic? Is it?
I mean, it
Is that
was
comic?
before it was Square Enix, but yeah.
Oh, okay. You're right. Okay, yeah. So yeah, this is great news.
Yeah, they merged in 03.
Okay. The thing I worry about this is that Square Enix, takes this investors, once and try to operate off of that, and they make a turn-based game, but they
That's not why Expedition 33 was successful. Like, yeah, they're gonna take the same wrong lessons from battle royale games, Fortnite. Make us a Fortnite. Make us a nah. We'll see what comes from it. Yeah, it'll get one game and then get canceled because it won't get a sequel because it won't sell 15 million like Square Enix was expecting. So I mean, whatever, doesn't matter.
Oh my gosh, you're not wrong. But yeah, that's the weird thing about this. Is like, okay, well, if they do decide to make a turn-based game, or they go back into that, please understand why everybody loves Clair Expedition 33 so much. I don't know why I have a problem saying obscure. I have no idea. It's late, I think. It's late.
Your vocabulary is obscure, you bitch.
It ain't clear. Say that.
Anyway.
All right, number 3. Sony reconfirms that it won't put its new games on PS Plus at launch like Xbox does.
They said this with a cigarette in their mouth. Go ahead.
This comes to us from GameSpot by way of Eddie McCooch. So, Microsoft releases its own first-party Xbox games on Game Pass at launch, but Sony does not do this. And it's not planning to change that strategy going forward. PlayStation Services executive Nick McGuire? That weird U told Gamefly that Sony has stayed true to our strategy across the board, and that means no day one new releases on PlayStation.
Take your ass crying into Sarah Bond's bosom if you want day one games.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, hey man, she's available for a hug, I guess. If you buy Game Pass, I think Ultimate. I don't know how that works. Anyways, quote: "We're not looking to put games in day and date," McGuire said. Back in 2022, PlayStation boss Jim Ryan, who since left the company, said the virtuous cycle of Sony's business plans for gaming would be broken if Sony launched its new games into PS Plus. The level of investment that we need to make in our studios would not be possible, and we think the knock-on effect on the quality of the games we make would not be something the gamers want. So I'm just going to pause there and think. I feel like trying to take like the bias out of it.
Yep.
I feel like Jim Ryan was pretty correct on that in terms of like the quality standpoint, because if you look at the like Xbox games, they're
all their day and date
games.
stuff that is launched. That's supposed to be like, yeah, this is gonna prove Game Pass is, this model works. And then Redfall came out, and yeah, this is gonna prove that.
Yeah, and like,
what if they had that was like a real super success, other than maybe like Starfield?
I don't know. Like, even if you remove the commercial success from it, because they're not telling us how much this stuff is actually making money wise for them. Like, if you look at
they can tell us whatever. Yeah.
That's if you look at the critical success, it's like Xbox is the home of double A games. It's not a bad thing, but it's not like I think their last like game you can say that was very like triple A looking was probably Indiana Jones. But
yeah, and is Doom out yet? I think Doom is out.
Doom came out too, and it's just like I think their open critic scores were like 80 something, and it's like again that's good, but it's very
It's
telling
good
that
enough.
like
It's good enough to subscribe to the
Game
service,
Pass.
but at
Yeah,
the same time, as I used to argue with Jordan, it could be the greatest deal in gaming, the greatest value, but it has no value if you don't want to play those games or you don't care to play those games at launch.
yeah, 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 and like that's always the case whether it be Game Pass or PS Plus. You know, it's just like well, if you're not interested in those games, then you're not going to be interested in that service that is giving you those games. But it is a
And
thing.
as we have said before, even if Sony wanted to do that, they don't have the large war chest to just endlessly throw money at the problem until the competition goes away or it succeeds.
Yeah.
So they have
Yeah.
to go with what they know.
Yeah. And like really and truly, if they did that, then they would have to release their games on everywhere to get everyone to go to
Yeah.
PS Plus to make that money back. A la Xbox, a la what's happening with them right now. And it's just like it doesn't work that way, unfortunately for them. But yeah, the cycle, as Ryan described it is that the investment delivers success, which enables yet more investment, which delivers yet more success. However, Ryan also acknowledged at the time that Sony wasn't married to this idea and would be open to changing its stance based on market conditions. In the 3 years since Ryan said this, however, Sony has not changed its stance. And the new comments from McGuire makes it sound like it's not changing soon. Um, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like that makes sense. That has been Sony's model for the longest time, and they,
Yeah.
their cycle is to release this big game that scores really highly open critic,
Game of the
Metacritic,
year contenders.
game of the year contenders, and that brings in a bunch of people to buy the game. Then after a couple of years or
Or buy
so,
a system and buy that game and others and get into the
yep,
ecosystem.
yeah. And like that's something that they have done for a long time and it's worked for a long time. And really and truly, the only, you know, the only time this has not been the case is when Jim Ryan started the whole we're going to do these live services and that set
Mhm.
back all these studios. And now we're at a position where the live service games were canceled and there's
I
nothing
don't
to
think
take
that
their
was his
place.
decision solely, but I mean, it is what it is now.
I mean, it was a thing of he was
That was probably
probably
a
listening.
push from investors
Yeah, he was
and the
listening to
board.
investors,
Yeah.
and the investors say, "Hey, we want this stuff," and he was like, "All right, well, we'll do this thing." The thing is, he didn't necessarily have to do it in that way. He didn't have to say we're going to do 12 live service games. Even then, at that time, there was people everywhere that was like, "You don't do that. You don't say that you're making 12 live service. Make
Yeah.
one, like make
Start
two,
off with one
maybe."
or two. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. It was very hand fisted back then in terms of how they did that. And
Yep.
yep, that's why we're at
Um,
where we are right now with PlayStation.
I would say further on in the interview, I just want to
Mhm.
touch on this. McGuire was asked if Sony's ill-fated live service shooter Concord may have fared better if it had been released on PlayStation Plus at launch.
Mm.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't like
But a lot of people's gripes was the characters are just ugly.
exactly.
Sex sells. They didn't want to buy ugly.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Look at the leading character for Overwatch.
Yeah.
Look at
Widowmaker.
huh?
It ain't Tracer, guys. It's Widowmaker.
Look at Apex. Everybody over there
Yeah.
is good looking, regardless of
Yeah.
whatever their
Yeah. I mean,
orientation, whatever.
even Marvel Rivals, like,
Yeah,
yeah, like sex
they
does
know
sell. Like
what the
that's
quote
yeah.
unquote fans want. Like, you want us to pay for ugly characters?
Yeah. Like
It is what it is.
we exist in a market where doing something different is not making, unfortunately, not making
Look,
different
look
looking
at this
character
massive
models.
sales success for Stellar Blade on PC. Like,
Well, well, the reason
it
why
is
I
what
ask
it
you a
is. First
massive
Descendant.
sell is because mods.
Yes, but I mean, look at First Descendant. Look at Stellar Blade. Put that next to Concord. Look at the
Yeah,
sales
yeah,
numbers.
yeah, yeah. It is just a thing of, and then like Concord. There's a lot of stuff because even internally with Concord, the designers are like, we shouldn't be doing this. We don't want to do this, and the higher ups still did it anyway. So it's like that was a bomb that was started a long time ago that blew up in everybody's faces. But yeah, in
Anyway,
terms of it being on PS Plus, it probably, it may have found like
mm,
a small audience, but it is a thing of, there's just a ton of stuff to be playing. And even now, if Concord was still around, people would probably have moved off of it and just stuck to Marvel Rivals because Marvel Rivals came out same time and has been massive. So it would have definitely pulled those players
and it
off.
has the IP recognizability.
Hmm. Hmm.
This
And
is almost
it's
like
still,
Marathon and Arc Raiders.
yeah,
Two
yeah,
things came out similar, and one blew it out of the water.
yeah.
Anyway, the next little
So yeah,
sub
so
story.
yeah, don't expect day and date with PlayStation first party games on PS Plus, I guess, ever for the time being, which no one should be surprised unless you are a Xbox player and you just come to PlayStation thinking, oh, they'll have to do this too, right? They have to do
Mm.
this. No, they don't. All right. Before we get into Capcom's possibly secret Mega Man game, hey, you having a good time? It's good because we are too. Don't forget to please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. If you're listening, leave us a review. Do that. That'd be appreciative. Thank you. All right, number 4. Capcom's Pragmata might be a secret Mega Man game, fan claims. This comes us from Polygon. Okay, so I wasn't going to. Oh, by Matt Patches. That's a cool last name. So I wasn't originally going to put this in the cast, but I thought, oh wait, no, we got to talk about this because this is actually kind of insane in terms of how far people are going with this. And the more you read, the more you're like, oh, that kind of, the girl's jacket is definitely blue.
Mm.
She's an android. What's happening here? Could Pragmata be
Hey.
like Mega Man, but like in a weird Latin spelling or something? Or Mega Girl?
Sure.
Anyways, uh, so Pragmata, Capcom's long delayed sci-fi action game, blew us away at this year's Summer Game Fest. A clever mix of quick turn puzzles and shooter action. The PS5, what? Shooter action, the PS5, Windows PC, and Xbox Series X game is poised to be one of the biggest releases of 2026 if Capcom can actually get it wrapped up on time after all these years. But since the first look footage and gameplay reports out of Summer Game Fest, a few creative thinkers have wondered if there's more under the surface of the game than Capcom's letting on. Mainly that it's a secret Mega Man game. Unfortunately, During a spotlight showcase on Thursday, Capcom did little to confirm or deny the theories. If Pragmata's young robot protagonist Diana is secretly connected to Dr. Light, Dr. Wily, and all the nonsense first introduced in the NES Mega Man from 1987, the studio is staying mum. But we did see plenty of new footage during Diane's using her blue metal puffy coat. That, in fairness, looks a lot like Mega Man's arm. Okay, so if you see this picture of Diana holding her arm out,
yep,
it definitely looks like a Mega Buster. Like,
I can see it.
Like, whoa, like it's a thing of you don't really notice it until it's like, oh yeah, that's actually like really, really close. Like if she just like tuck her arm in, it's a Mega Buster. Like it just that's what it is. It just doesn't shoot out energy pellets like Mega Man did.
Yet.
Maybe it will though. What you gonna say? You say?
I said yet.
Yet, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, so she uses that arm to hack robots from her surrogate dad with a gun, the playable astronaut Hugh. Theories that Pragmata was Capcom's AAA attempt at a Mega Man revival took off in forums and conspiracy-tinged YouTube videos shortly after SGF. The evidence at the time was tenuous. Diana's design was a big tell, as well as the Mega Man connection to the moon and sentient robot viruses. The early mission of Pragmata finds Diana and Hugh outrunning rogue bots in a lunar base, maybe a Sigma connection. Sigma. Others wonder if Pragmata's obligatory evil sci-fi conglomerate that ruined everything, the Delphi Corporation, was a tip-off. Jeez. Delphi was the home of the Oracle and was dedicated to Apollo, the god of, among other things, medicine and light. Reads one mildly shitpost Reddit speculation. Dr. Light. This is ridiculous.
Sure, man. Just bring on the damn game.
So yeah, most of the evidence of Pragmata as a secret Mega Man game has been met with eye rolls, but you know what? I understand why fans of the side scroller are holding out hope. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I actually like read some of the stuff, and it's just like, all right. I mean, I guess if that's how you want to look at it, I guess you could kind of like a quick little nod, like it might be Mega Man. Yeah, I don't think this is a Mega Man game at all. I just think the blue coat might be a bit of a Easter egg, but I don't know. Like, so one of the things they showed for Pragmata in terms of its combat is that Diana is on Hugh's shoulder and she basically has to hack the robot before Hugh can actually do damage to the robot. So you have to do a like little puzzle or whatever, figure out that puzzle, then you can actually shoot the robot. Were you gonna say something?
Nah. Just hurry up with this damn game. Hurry up in 2026.
Please. So yeah. I don't think that this is any way, shape, or form a Mega Man thing. That the most we'd get would be Mega Man Legends, in the fact that because that was a 3D real world. I don't know. That's just I don't think that's going to be the case. Anyways, Pragmata coming out next year. Who's excited? We are. Number 6. EA CEO pulled in $5 million more this year than last. Jesus. While his employees took home the least money they've made since 2022. This comes to us from PC Gamer by way of Joshua Woolens. So, this is a mess. Tragic news. Despite steering Electronic Arts as CEO since 2013, Andrew Wilson hadn't had a pay raise in the last 3 years. He's scraping by on the same $1.3 million annual salary he's had since fiscal year 2023. When it was bumped up from 1.29 million he earned as salary in fiscal year 2022. Times are tough still. Hopefully Wilson can console himself with the other $29,200,000 he netted in his position over the last fiscal year. Stagnant salary aside, Wilson has, per EA's 2025 proxy statement, earned $25.7 million in stock awards, $2.8 million in executive bonuses, and $678,000 garnished from all other compensations, namely 1.2K or 1.2 thousand in insurance premium. What am I reading? Why am I reading all of this? This man is making money. It's a dumb amount of money this man is making. In other news, I resolved to never feel bad about expending lunch. Oh, okay, PC gamer, you're trying to be funny. So the real news about this is the fact that Andrew Wilson, who is CEO, is making so much money versus the Go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Versus the people who are actually making the video games to make him this much money is making so little money. It just sucks.
And they laid off a couple hundred people in the same year as well.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yep. So this is a mess. It's one of the things, at least I look at this as
he probably made an extra $5 million for pulling the plug on Black Panther.
He said, "Oh wait, I'll make money by canceling this game." Oh, say no more, fam. Say no more.
He was like, "I canceled that DEI game," and they were like, "Yep, that's the type of leadership we need. Give him more money."
Right. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's the thing of like, you know, the industry's in a weird place where it is driven by, you know, accountants, for lack of better words, in terms of like, oh, we can make money by doing this thing. And it's a thing of, yeah, it would be nice to not shrink the industry, but figure out how to get away from having, I don't know what I'm trying to say. There's too much money. There's no reason Andrew Wilson should be making this much money at EA. Like, EA has what, Madden?
Yep.
I guess Apex, but I don't think Apex is like, it's not killing it anymore.
I mean, Apex is still bringing in consistent money.
Yeah, okay. But then they have like hundreds and hundreds of people. Like, this stuff, this
let me see. They got Madden, they got The Sims, that makes hella money.
Oh,
FIFA.
Sims. Oh, FIFA.
Not called FIFA anymore, but that makes hella money.
Whatever. Football.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah, okay. I totally forgot about whatever their football game is, and then also Sims, which is a crazy moneymaker. So yeah, that makes sense. But again, each of these games is being developed by hundreds of people, and those people should actually be making money, and not Andrew Wilson is basically what I'm trying to get at. This needs to stop. Capitalism needs to stop. It needs to stop. Anyways, number 7. Speaking of capitalism, I guess in a weird way, Control spinoff FBC Firebreak tops 1 million players as developers promise there is still a lot of work ahead of us. This comes to us from IGN by way of Vicky Blake. Have you played Firebreak since it released?
No. I'm still perusing around Mario Kart World, and then this weekend happened. So we'll talk about what we've been playing.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This is kind of a weird thing because I went to one of the podcasts and they were talking about Firebreak and they said like, oh yeah, Firebreak has like 100 to 200 people on Steam, like 100 to 200 people on Steam, and they're like, oh, that's not good at all. But then like literally, I think minutes later or like half hour later, like this news story actually came out to say that, oh yeah, Firebreak has 1 million people on it, and they're like, oh, I guess they're on Xbox and PlayStation and not on Steam.
Yeah, we can't go by Steam numbers.
Exactly. It's the thing of like, well, I guess Steam is definitely not the statistic that you go with for this. I don't know. It seemed very weird. Very weird that like you would think that the numbers on Steam would probably be pretty close to what the other platforms are, seeing how it's free everywhere. But for whatever reason, it's not. But yeah, Firebreak came out. We both played it. I think you were more positive on it than I was. I thought it was a fine game. It just
I understood the chaos from playing controls. I mean, hopefully they toned it down a little bit. Like they said, they were just testing matchmaking, so I'm curious to see. I just need to claim it before it's no longer free.
Yeah. And again, because you only got Steam numbers, and the peak for the last 13 days was 1,992 players. There's 136 players online right now. I wonder if they, to get to that 1 million number, if they include the beta numbers. I don't know. Anyways, they say that, the game needs work and they plan on doing that work. So that's good. It is also to note, for some reason in the history of gaming, in the history of the live service games, we've kind of forgotten the fact that when a live service game come out, generally those numbers is not the most people that will play the game. It's usually the least amount of people that will play the game, because if the game is successful, it will slowly build an audience, and that audience will get bigger and bigger and bigger. So it is a thing of you put the game out and it slowly grows over time. It's not you put the game out and like boom, that's the most players you'll have forever for this game. So for them saying like they have 1 million players now, that is good. And if they keep fostering that community, they'll have more players in the future, and the game will either be a success or be more of a success for them. So we'll see. Well, I guess they'll see, because I'll be playing other games like what we've been playing.
Yeah.
All right. That has been it for the relatively big gaming news. Now let's jump to the quick hits. Speaking of games that come out and do 1 million copies, well, this is sold. Rematch sells 1 million copies in just 5 days. This comes from Insider Gaming. So, who is this by? Insider Gaming by way of Sam Spiel. Split. That last name.
No, I'm gonna just leave what you said.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna correct me.
Nope.
Anyways, so yeah, Rematch selling 1 million copies in 5 days. I think that's awesome. I got put into the beta, and I didn't get a chance to actually try the game out. And I feel like I should have tried the game out, because apparently people are loving that game. And on top of that, like I sat and watched some people play the game. I was like, oh, you know what? This actually looks really cool. The downside is that it really feels like it is a team game. Like you need other people to be playing with you to be any level of competitive. And I think
Yeah.
like that just sucks. I don't know what they would have to do to make that better, but yeah. Number 9. Nintendo Direct set for July. It's claimed. This comes to us from Insider Gaming. By
I wonder if it'll
way,
just be a. Well, no, we already had it at Donkey Kong Direct, so
it's probably gonna be Metroid.
yeah.
Yeah. If I were to guess, by way of Ryan LeMay, if I were to guess, it would probably be late July, like after Donkey Kong releases, and
Yep.
they can, talk about what they're going to do for Metroid. Because right now, Metroid still does not have a release date. And it's like, you got to put a date on that soon. You say it's coming out this year, guys. Like, we're almost halfway through, or we are halfway through the year. Like, come on. Oh, also to note, PlayStation is going to have a direct in July as well. I think it's going to be centered around Ghost because they mentioned it in their state of play. They said they're going to have a
Direct later on.
state of play. Yeah. Yeah, and then the last up, number 10, Bandai Namco Summer Showcase 2025, set for July 2nd, featuring My Hero Academia game and more. That came to us from Gamatsu by way of. Wait a minute. This is loading. You know what? Whatever. By way of some. What do you say?
Sal Romano.
Ah, cool. Thank you, because mine still has not loaded. Yeah, that's cool. Capcom had their showcase and it was not great, guys. That's why it's not on here for us to talk about. It was not great. They showed Resident Evil a little bit. They showed a lot of Monster Hunter Wild. It was not great. But yeah, that's cool. I guess I don't think these publishers.
And that's what they're gonna show.
Oh, they did. What?
Yeah, so an exclusive trailer for, apart from My Hero Academia, Tawa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree, gameplay deep dive into the Digimon story Time Stranger, Code Vein 2, The Blood of Dawnwalker, Death Note Killer Within, Everybody's Golf Hot Shots, Little Nightmares 3, and Patapon 1+2 Replay, Shadow Labyrinth, Super Robot Wars Y, and Tekken 8.
Oh, Tekken.
So if you're curious to see any new details from those games, check it out. July 2nd.
And y'all let us know down below.
Yeah.
All right. With that being said, that has been the quick kiss. Now let us jump into what we have been playing. Sean, what have you been playing?
So, since I got the Switch 2 and I wanted to take a break from Mario Kart World, I downloaded some demos and I ended up downloading Metroid Dread because I never actually played it when it originally released. Okay. And I was like, I kind of like this. And then I went down the whole rabbit hole of trying to find a way to emulate the original Metroid. Well, no. I for some reason I was like, you know what? I want to play all the Metroid games. I don't know why. I tried to play the NES version. I don't have the patience for that in this day and age. I need a map. I don't want to just run around aimlessly. Like, if the game had loaded any faster, then maybe that'd be fine. But, side scrolls to the next part of the map and then side scrolls back and then all this. So, whatever. Moved on to Super Metroid. And I actually got like one of those Android handheld emulator things. But while I was waiting to come in the mail, I was like, oh, wait. I got Nintendo Online, don't I? I forgot that, what the hell did they call it? The bonus pack? Whatever the hell they call that bonus thing for Nintendo Online.
So your first instinct was to buy a thing where you could play Super Metroid?
I did not want to use my backbone attachment for the phone.
Okay.
I might sell that shit. Like,
okay.
But I didn't want to use that. So I got like this off of AliExpress. It's like $30. It wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
It's loaded with like 20,000
paying
kids.
American prices.
Yeah, whatever. But I was like, oh wait, I got Nintendo Online and it supports save states. Like I forgot that was a thing. I forgot that. That's what it's called, the expansion pack, because that's what gives you access to whatever. I don't even care because I'm not gonna pay for it. But Super Metroid is on there. Then I realized I had started it like years back, but got to a point and probably got stuck, or maybe another game that came out that took away my attention. So I'm in the middle of Super Metroid right now.
Okay.
And then apart from that, Death Stranding 2 came out, and all this Amazon Prime goodness over the past couple days. We have a few people on the cast playing it. DJ, Marcus, Cam is playing it. Avery's playing it. But your ass need to finish Expedition 33. Did you finish that yet?
No, I didn't. I'm going to finish it. I wanted to be a part of the boat when it came to talking about Death Stranding 2, and I didn't want to be behind. So I am on this journey with everybody else, as Sam Porter Bridges.
Yep.
I don't. Yes. And I am holding my little backpack, and I'm going up and down these mountains to deliver fucking Uber meals, because that's what I do.
What is your thoughts on it so far?
So,
as a newcomer,
I actually am enjoying my time in this game.
You're gonna make Marcus hop on a flight,
right?
Like Kendrick, next time you catch flight, it's gonna be direct. Anyway.
So yeah, I'm actually having a really good time with this game. I think I did all I could to prepare myself for this, in terms of, I watched like one or two like people play
the first one,
a little bit of the first one. I downloaded the first one about 2 times, didn't start it, but I just had it on my console just to like get adept, or get accustomed to like seeing Death Stranding 2 on my PS5. I was like, all right, I got you for the sequel. And then starting it, I'm playing like the first 2 hours or so on the stream, so they can see what it looks like if you haven't started this game, or if you're kind of on the fence about the game. I almost tripped down the mountain because I didn't understand how the systems worked. But then I understand, like, okay, so you need to like center yourself, you need to center your core with your hands, and then you can do whatever you want. So once I figured that out, I was like, all right, well,
within reason, but yeah.
I was like, okay, I'll just hold R2 and L2 for the rest of this game. But I think I like the systems that I have messed with so far. I like the idea of having to like they allow you to auto arrange your packages on your back to be as most like
efficient or balanced.
Yeah, as possible. Yeah, right. I saw some like, oh, these are 10 tips that you need to do or whatever to be
successful at delivering shit.
Yeah, that stuff. Like the whole putting the pack down, then using your strand to like tie everything down. I was like, okay, I like that idea.
You can do what?
So yeah, if you have your package, look at me, I'm over here teaching this man how to play this strand game. So if you have a backpack with packages that is like over your head, if you hold triangle, you can drop your bag, and then if you pull out your strand, your like rope, you go to your bag and you press like, it says like press triangle to tie everything down. It will tie everything down, and then when you pick up your bag, if you fall, I'm guessing if you fall, your
shit won't go flying everywhere. Was this a feature in the first one?
I have no idea. Based off the 4 hours of cutscenes that I watched on the first one, I can't tell you.
Now I'm wondering. I put 70 hours in the first game.
Right? Just never saw the button from. What? But yeah, like what I really enjoy about this game, again, I have not fought the BT, so I don't know what that gameplay is like. I've fought like other like bandits and stuff. I fought
Yeah.
bandits mostly. And like I got a sense of how that works. I haven't fought the BTs. I don't know how it's gonna go. It hasn't been it for me, it's been a thing of trying to reckon what is the important stuff that I need
Yeah.
to put on me, that I need to hoard essentially. Like I was talking to Sean before the cast. I was like, yeah, I'm kind of trying to get a sense of like, do I need to collect all these electric rods that I'm just pulling off of these enemy people? And it's not really.
Nah.
No.
Unless
But
you just
yeah,
want that to be your main weapon of choice. Like, no.
right. Although I will say the first time I got spotted by one of the guys, I was like, "Oh no, let me run away!" And I was like, as I was trying to run away, I saw like a rod fly over and land next to me. I was like, "Who the heck? Where'd that
Oh
come
yeah, they have
from?"
impeccable aim.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh,
You didn't turn around and shoot him?
no." So here's the thing, right? Here's the
Hmm?
thing. I have used my gun about 3 times. No, about 4 times,
Hmm.
and about 3 of those times was in the training VR. Like my the okay, so this is definitely an ad. Great, cool. Thanks, YouTube.
Keep going.
Okay, so I have a question. If you have your gun and you have your strand or whatever,
Hmm.
is there a way of switching from gun to strand, or do you have to go into the menus and switch to your to the other gun?
You have the quick menu if you hold down the D-pad, if that's what you're referring to, going into the menu.
Yeah. Okay. So you can't just go from like gun to strand. You have to go into the menu to switch over.
I don't know if you can use the strand while like active. I think that's a sneaking tool.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think you can. I don't remember being able to use it while you're in an active fight.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You can pull off the strand and like
Broke
dodge.
them up.
Yeah. Like
Oh!
you can
You mean
deflect them and
to parry and stuff? Okay.
yeah.
If you had pulled out your strand last, as opposed to something else, so you can switch if you just tap it versus holding down the D-pad to put
Oh,
things
okay.
away.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Because like my the reason why I didn't pull out the gun was because I had the strand out and it was like, all right, well, I'd have to put the strand back, go into the inventory and like equip the gun. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna do all that. I'd rather
I'm trying
just
to think.
like
Is the strand on the left or the right?
on the right.
Well, then yeah, you'd have to hold down the button to swap
Okay.
between it.
Okay. Yeah. So like I think my
But you're not killing them like the first game. In the first game, if you killed them, you had to deliver them before they exploded or whatever.
right. Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about that. This.
Yeah.
So at least for now, with the
Right.
bullets that they
Yeah.
gave you to start with.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I have been
Mhm.
mainly using the strand stuff. I haven't really used the gun, mainly because of just the whole menu thing and like having to go into the menu and switch into the gun versus like pressing a button to pull out the gun versus having the strand. So that's been like that's not necessarily been like an issue. Like I really
Mhm.
haven't ran into a situation like, oh man, this feels bad. I wish I can just pull out the gun.
Mhm.
But I will say, firing with the gun, I don't know if I need to look at my settings or whatever, but it doesn't feel as great as I thought it would in terms of like how it looks. So I'm not sure if it's
I
just like,
mean,
oh, this
he's
is
not
just
a
a Kojima
soldier.
thing. Yeah, yeah,
This ain't Call
yeah,
of Duty. So I mean, like that's
yeah,
not gonna be like the main.
yeah,
This ain't gonna feel good to shoot. You're a delivery boy. So you
yeah.
imagine
That's the thing.
your Amazon Prime nigga just up the tools.
Hey man, sometimes they're good at shooting. Sometimes some of them have to be, you know what I mean? But yeah, it is a thing of
Yes.
like, all right, it's there's an expectation, but that
Mhm.
expectation could certainly just be not
Unrealistic.
based off of because I don't have any actual experience in
Mhm.
this game or mainly Kojima games, really. So it's just like, yeah, that's fine. I can deal with this. But yeah, I'm having a good time. How about you?
You said Kojima games. Did you not play much Metal Gear Solid?
The
Oh,
the Metal Gear Solid game I played the most was Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, and that's because it was a demo disc on Zone of the Enders. And I was like, you know what? I will play this demo disc. That's cool.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should go back and play some Metal Gear Solid, my guy.
It might be too
After,
late for me. It might be too
no,
late
it's
for me.
not. Anyway,
You know what? You know what? Maybe depending on how this goes. Well, I guess maybe like Delta, right? Because that's 3 is supposed to be like one of the best ones, right? I don't know. But yeah, how about you? How was your
um,
yeah,
I'm
go ahead.
enjoying the improvements that they or I don't know if it's improvements yet, but the
Mhm.
changes to certain things that he made. So like I don't remember in the first game the water levels being able to rise.
Mm,
I don't remember rock slides and having to dodge rocks in the last game.
mm.
It's little things like that where like he has honed in on his vision of what he wants this game to be like. There weren't these little, they call them chiral creatures in this game. They have chiral creatures at night and then these crab things in the day or whatever. Spider
Yeah.
crab, chiral, don't touch those.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So real quick about those little crab things. I because I went over to the mountains and I was just like, all
Mm.
right, okay, cool, whatever. And like I got close to one and I just looked at it and I was like, all right, it didn't do anything to me. I was like, okay, cool. I guess these are just things in this world
Harmless.
or whatever.
Mm.
And then I was driving my truck that I got from the bandit camp, and I'm part of the Mad Trucker crew now. Whatever. I was driving my trucks, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna run over these things. And I ran over one,
They
and
exploded.
the whole crew flipped out and started attacking my truck. And I was like, what's happening? I'm
That was
sorry.
on gang though. You attacked one, they all attacked you. Apparently, you can shoot them though.
Oh, okay. All right.
Waste of
Yeah.
bullets, but you can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because like I like it because it basically attacked the battery on my
Mhm.
truck, and I was like, "Oh no, no, I need that. Please stop." So I drove past them, and then another time I saw them, I tried to go around them, and they attacked me. I was like, "Oh no, I guess I just started a gang war." Shame.
Um,
Shame.
it might be a gameplay mechanic later on where you got to throw a blood bomb at them to clear the way or some shit.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm enjoying what I'm seeing so far. I'm taking my
Mm,
sweet time. I think I have like 5-6 hours in the game. I've only just barely completed the first major section and
yeah.
like had my first heartbreak without spoiling things. Oh yeah,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
heartbreak for Sam, not for me.
Yeah, I'm halfway or not halfway. I am one, I guess, mission behind Sean, so I guess I should steal my heart for that.
I
You know.
hate you the same. You didn't play the first game.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Be like, who are these people? Sean, I don't understand.
Hmm.
But yeah, we are playing this game, so we'll be having more impressions on this as we get further through it. Uh, but that's it. That's it for this episode of Press X to Start Gamers Digest. We hope you enjoyed this episode of us talking about things that happened in this industry from this past week, making it a bit more of an hour-long meal
Yeah.
because we appreciate you. Yes, please again do us a favor and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you liked our content, and then hit that notification bell because that will give you a notification of when we have more of our content. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that'd be a great thing. If you are listening, please leave us a review on whatever podcast service you are currently tuned in on. And again, you can join our Discord by joining at pressx2start.com/Discord. All right. Well, that's it. You guys, you take care. You be safe. You keep playing those video games and keep
Mhm.
having fun. Yeah. Peace out.